I now elect Thomas Byrne to continue the case for the proposition.
Well, that last speech reminds me of the phrase, "I was the future once," and now I'm put to another generation. But it's more an unor dumsa bhean seo nocht in Aontas Oxford and seo chun labhairt ar son an ruin gohfuil éire réig don Aontacht. Thanks very much for the opportunity to speak here tonight. Following in some famous footsteps, it has to be said, you've had Omarosa, you've had Steve Bannon, Stormy Daniels, Secretary Tom Price. If this is what the Trump administration means by reintegrating into normal society, I think they have another problem that they didn't realise before this. Stormy Daniels actually made huge headlines back home in Ireland because she had an expletive-laden tweet about the quality of her Aer Lingus flight over to the Oxford Union, as I understand. So I think Secretary Price is probably right maybe to stick to the private jets. Tonight's motion, with all due respect to Secretary Price, tonight's motion is timely in view of the febrile atmosphere that you have here in the UK at the moment. I want to make a number of points about Irish unification. First, the fundamental barriers to unification that existed over many decades, and particularly up to the Good Friday Agreement, and even since then, I believe they have ended or are ending. Unification offers immense benefits to citizens, and it can work to build a new sense of identity, that new sense that has already been spoken about here in this debate by the opposition. The origins of partition basically lay in a divided community, as has been said already. The Unionist community had real and genuine fears about their prospects in a united Ireland. Those fears are no longer relevant, in my opinion. Let's look at how Ireland has changed. At one point, the Unionists were probably right to say that Home Rule was Rome Rule. Yes, Irish society, a Republic of Irish society, Southern Irish society, and even some of our laws were very much influenced by the doctrine, teachings, traditions of the Roman Catholic Church. At one point, the Roman Catholic Church was given a special place in our Constitution, and that was deleted in the 70s. And we have continued the progress that has been made since then towards a multicultural and multi-religious society. But in a globe marked by a return, and a worrying return to authoritarianism, Ireland actually stands out as a model of democracy, as a model of socially enlightened government. We've had popular referendums recently where, unlike some of the referendums I have to say in this country, or one of the referendums because we don't have them too often, we have had an educated electorate who have been fully informed independently, not by campaign groups, but independently by experts of what are the pros and cons of their particular decision and particular way to vote. So those referendums have ensured that that Catholic monoculture that I've spoken about has been replaced by a new secular identity. Furthermore, when the line on the map was drawn to partition Ireland, Ulster was very much an industrial society. There was a huge industrial hegemony there, factories, shipbuilding, you know all about it. The South was much more of an agrarian society. We didn't have that industry. This has been utterly transformed. We're now world leaders in attracting foreign direct investment. And in fact, things have turned full circle. The North could actually benefit from some of that foreign direct investment that we, as a state, are attracting, and they are not attracting it to anywhere near the same extent. There's a new range of industries in the Republic, pharmaceutical industries, technology, services that benefit, of course, from the European market and single market in goods and services. Northern Ireland is now more and more reliant on public services, on the public sector for employment. A huge proportion of people in the north of Ireland depend on the public sector. Ironically, for those who oppose British rule, mainly funded by the British government and by British taxpayers. Social welfare payments in the north are lower than in the south, but that can be that can be moved together in terms of a transition. Healthcare in the UK traditionally was always much more further ahead than ours, particularly in terms of public healthcare. But again, we're moving to a new model called Sláinte care, which literally means healthcare, which will provide a similar service to the NHS, which has so far eluded the southern state of Ireland. So that is another reason that is going out. So I believe that the core reasons for partition have simply faded away. There are no longer any serious socioeconomic impediments to ending it, but inertia is a potent force, and if we do nothing, things will just carry on the way they are going on. And let's be honest, the north of Ireland, the way it is not being governed at the moment, is a complete basket case in terms of governance. It has to end. The people deserve much better, and I believe that they would have a much better future and much better opportunities in a united Ireland. Northern Ireland particularly has been sold short by Brexit. It has been laid bare in the harshest way the secondary importance it has in the debates on this part of the United Kingdom. Brexit didn't cause the power imbalance between Great Britain and Northern Ireland, but it simply has exposed it. I believe that all of the citizens of the island would benefit immensely from fully belonging to the EU, as they are currently benefiting from it and continue to benefit from it. The Republic of Ireland offers those chances in a structure where the voice of the North would not be lost in the din. And if you read Judge Humphrey's book, which I recommend to you very, very highly, he sets out how the Good Friday Agreement sets out that path for United Ireland from a legal point of view. He's not a politician, he's a judge. But legally he sets out how it can be done and what the securities, what the assurances are there in legal form, whether it's in the national legislation, but also in international agreements as well. Now, the Sinn Féin party constantly called for an immediate border poll. They even had a number of mini border polls in highly nationalist areas, which are only ever going to get one result. They were a bit embarrassing, to be honest. They didn't set the case for unity any further on. We don't think that we should have a border poll tomorrow. This needs to be a process. This needs to be carried out very, very carefully. The fundamentals saying that we are ready for unity, yes, we believe we are, but there needs to be a process as to how to achieve that. There are practical aspects, and we've talked about a number of them: social welfare, healthcare, but the most important thing is a genuine reconciliation between the peoples of the North. It really struck home to me, and Colin Meath can speak more authoritatively than I. I spoke last year at a function in Carndonagh, just outside Colin Meath's home city in Derry. Very, very short distance between the two, but utterly different in terms of culture. You would not know what religion anybody was in Carndonagh, but certainly in large parts of Northern Ireland, just down the road, it is, as already been said, separated by pub, separated by church, separated by school. And that has to change. That has to change. And people in the north of Ireland obviously have to play that role as well. That can't be done by outside forces. But the Republic of Ireland offers those structures. It happens already just along the border. Unification can't be broken down simply to a demographic wrestling match, although it is absolutely the case legally that a 50+1 referendum is what's legally required should the Secretary of State decide to call a border poll. I don't believe that would be particularly successful, because the truth is we don't want to turn one problem into a different problem. Sectarian headcounts don't work. It has to be a unity of people and a consensus. Identity is a key component. The removal of reasons behind partition, the immense potential of unification, offers the basis for that new shared identity. Every day, people from the North travel from the Republic and vice versa. I'm so proud of our students here from the Republic, proud of our students here in Dublin and other cities from the UK, proud of the North-South movement of students, and I sincerely hope that continues post-Brexit, and that's to continue to be covered, because I think it is an excellent opportunity for everybody. It was great to see the rugby team beating New Zealand last week on home soil. And that was an All-Ireland rugby team, for those of you who don't follow rugby, with both traditions cheering together, singing together, celebrating together. Fans from both North and South watched and celebrated. Nobody knows what religion they were. It is simply irrelevant. It is a country coming together to beat the best in the world and to be the best in the world, and that's who United Ireland can be. Perversely, Brexit has allowed some unionists and nationalists to work together a bit better in terms of sorting out what's good for the North. Not everybody is playing along with that. Political ideologies have been set aside by some. But as Brexit evolves, I'm certain that will happen more and more. We saw that nuance this week where the farmers have come out in support of Theresa May's agreement, for example. But I believe that Ireland stands poised for this new political departure. The political tectonic plates are shifting and have shifted, and we need to move with them. The reasons for the divide are gone. Partition is effectively over without that border. We need to keep it like that. There's a viable path towards reunification. The Good Friday Agreement sets out the path. The Good Friday Agreement endures beyond unification. Ireland is ready for it, and I commend this motion to the House. Gurra míle maith.